So I've noticed something. We have a lot of Democrats, and one specifically, LaMonica McCliver. She's the one that went out to the ICE facility. I think it was in New Jersey, I believe it was, and she wanted to make sure they were being treated right. The illegal immigrants that were there, and there's a few that have come down to Florida to the Everglades new facility, and they want to make sure they're being, treated right. Make sure it's, humane conditions, right? So let me ask you this: why has McCliver and other Democrats, the Congressional Black Caucus, why have they not gone to Louisiana's Angola prison? That place is over 65% black that's incarcerated. No one's bamming the doors down to check on those guys. And this place has a very bad rap. Now keep this in mind. They've gone down to the Everglades trying to get into the one up north to make sure illegals are being treated fairly. When this place, the Angola prison in Louisiana, I got my notes right here. Prisoners have been known to pass out due to the heat. They have them outside picking cotton, and you can look it up yourself. Louisiana Angola prison. Okay, it's not me just making this up. Also, in 2021, just 4 years ago, yet a federal judge slammed them for not providing proper medical care. They violated the Eighth Amendment. Why are they not down there knocking on those doors, trying to make sure those inmates are treated fairly? Why is that? There's no reason why you should be knocking on doors of people who come to the country illegally and you're so concerned with their well-being. What about the people over here? Yeah, they've all committed crimes, but you have people here in prisons that are in bad conditions. Why are they not knocking on those doors? They have that much hate for Donald Trump. It's okay if you don't like Donald Trump. That's fine. You don't have to like Donald Trump, but don't dislike the guy to the point where you're being silly with your actions. If you're so concerned about the living conditions of prisoners, then you need to be checking all the prisons. Don't just do it for one. Okay? I don't know if anyone has gone knocking on a prison door waiting to see how someone's being treated. There's so many stories, of inmates being mistreated that are still happening to this day. And I don't see McCliver, I don't see Jasmine Crockett or anyone knocking on doors to make sure that everyone is treated right. I don't see Hakeem Jeffries making sure. I don't see the Congressional Black Caucus making sure. But illegals, yes, let's make sure they're okay. Food and water, proper medical care. Let's take care of them. These are your leaders that you guys are voting for. And that's what's so mind-boggling to me, that you're voting for these people and they're not doing anything for you. Your vote is to get them in office, and their focus is on illegals. And I've said this before in my other videos. It's amazing that if the tables were turned and you all were in someone else's country, their leaders would not be petitioning, fighting the police to make sure you're okay. They would look at you and be like, oh, well, they broke the law and that's just it. So I don't understand exactly why, our leaders over here, elected officials are fighting for illegal immigrants who have crossed the border illegally. It's not that, no one can come over here, but you have to go through the proper points of entry. And these elected officials are fighting for illegals to make sure they're okay. Look at some of their districts. Some of their districts look like pretty much like a tornado went through it, but they're fighting for illegals. You guys think about that when you go to vote again, put these people in office who are doing nothing for you. And they do that because they automatically know that you are going to vote them in because A, they're black, they look like you, and B, they put on a popcorn wagon for you, close to that time to get election, they close off the neighborhood, they get a popcorn wagon, hot dogs, some buns the store was gonna throw away anyway. Get that, get a little bounce house for your kids, and they do a little dancing with hey, all that kind of stuff. And then before you know it, you voted them back in office and they ignore you. And that's the problem. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, either way, don't let people fool you like that. They come in your face right before, it's time to get reelected, and bam, you just fall for the okie doke because they got some barbecue out there, or, whatever. Stop falling for that stuff because these people are showing you who their focus is. You guys got to do better, with that. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.